Have you heard about the latest changes coming by way of Amazon's changes in policy? It's all about stuffing your book. What exactly is book stuffing? Does it have anything to do with eating or Thanksgiving? Not really, actually. And this could greatly affect how you publish on Kindle Direct Publishing. So, if you want to learn more, you gotta stay
tuned.
Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale.
And Kelly.
Where you'll learn to publish your books and build your brand. Make sure that you subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss a single live broadcast every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Greenwich Mean Time -4. Before we jump into things, today's live broadcast is brought to you in part by...
Find out the exact systems I use to build and grow a no-content book publishing business. Visit selfpublishingwithdale.com/no-content to get your copy of the no-content book publishing course. This offer is only available until August 15th, so get your copy right away.
Join us live next week on Thursday, July 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Low-Content Book, How to Publish No-Content Books the Wrong Way. Get our insights on how and why you aren't getting results in publishing no-content books. Wow, that's going to be an exciting episode. Actually, I'm so pumped about this coming up this next week. You guys don't want to miss out on this. We are getting a ton of people that are getting into the no-content book publishing business, but we're seeing a lot of just really, you're trying. We're going to give you that, but I don't want to get too overboard. I know Kelly's excited about it. I'm excited about it. This is going to be one that even you veteran self-publishers out there that are already doing no-content books are going to want to tune in for that one next week. So, boy, how's everybody doing? Who's in the house, Kelly? Let's see. Let's get our Macs out. We're going to pull them on out. Here we go. Let's see who all is in the chat. I see that Kevin McGuire, he's been here for a little bit. He was working on one of his upcoming books. And, of course, you know Kelly. Look who's in the house. She's looking. She's looking. You just did half of a raw dog. Let it play out. Let it play out. There we go. Kelly, you get a banana sticker. All right, so let's see here. Who else has got inside the house? We got Jude, the reluctant introvert. We've got Mojo. It's great to see you, Monique. K Wheeler Books. Listen, folks, if you have not subscribed to K Wheeler Books yet, what are you doing with your life? Get over to Keith Wheeler's channel. That's at K Wheeler Books. You can see him right now inside the chat. Just click on his little head. You can go to his channel, hit that subscribe. He's got great content coming out, and he had an excellent review of the AMS course that was put together by Marco Motino. Who else do we got, Kelly?
I don't know where you left off at, because I was reading the
Just
chat.
Go ahead and repeat them. Why not? We're going to celebrate everybody.
Red Lipstick, John Wasser, Katrina, good to see you, Mojo, I know you said Kevin McGuire, Hot Flash Heidi, Risa Faye, Jude the Reluctant Introvert. If I missed anyone, hi.
Excellent. I'm really glad to see everybody joining in. Hey, have you heard about this whole book stuffing thing? Have you heard the hashtag get loud or hashtag stay loud that you've seen over, say, on Twitter? It's really just, it's been going on for probably the past month now. Let us know inside the chat here, and if you're watching this on the replay, we're listening to you as well. I respond to all meaningful comments. Notice meaningful. I try to stay away from the people that come in there and have this hateful stuff hiding your comments. All right, well, so we got a lot of ground to cover, so load up questions, concerns, and comments in regards to this recent Amazon policy change. Let's go ahead and we're going to switch right on over here. It's Kindle Unlimited's books. Amazon's new rules against book stuffing. So, Kelly, what exactly is the deal with the new policy?
Word for word.
This is verbatim, by the way, folks. We've got it on the TVs.
If you choose to put bonus content, make it be relevant to the customer. Don't make it be irrelevant. It should not disrupt their reading experience. And to meet these guidelines, place additional content at the end of the book and listing it in the table of contents as bonus content. Yeah,
this is the important thing is you got to make sure it's, you can put bonus content in. Let's not make any mistake about it. But it's got to be at the end of the book, and you have to actually list it. you're going to understand why. Some of it might seem murky, it might seem cloudy, but it's going to start to really, you're going to understand it by the time that you're done here with this broadcast. So they further go on to say, to provide an optimal customer experience, bonus content shouldn't make up more than about 10% of your book. If you'd like to include multiple stories within your book, consider creating a collection of works. So here's the deal. There's nothing wrong with collections or bundles or box sets, as some of the people call. It's okay to still do those things. In fact, you're going to find out what people were doing in order to kind of, work that little system there. But so you're not mistaken, collections are okay. Think of like collections being like, did you guys ever get any of those old Reader's Digest books where it has like 4 books in it? Those are okay. That's fine. That's not what they consider bonus content and in violation of their guidelines. And there's a third part and more important part here, and I'll have Kelly take this one away here.
Primary and bonus content must meet all program guidelines. For example, bonus content in KDP Select titles must be exclusive to the platform. If you translate content, it has to be of high quality and not machine generated like Google Translate.
Yep.
Disruptive links and promises of a gift or rewards are never allowed.
There's a little bit of foreshadowing here in this, and we're gonna try to cover all of this. But it's going to be really tough inside this broadcast. If you know what we're talking about, go ahead. I encourage you within the chat here, give people some spoilers here. Why? Why exactly couldn't people give incentives? So you're gonna see that there's so much related around a lot of the controversy as of late, and has a lot to do with the cockygate and Tiffany-gate and Get Loud, book stuffing, Stay Loud, all that stuff. It all interrelates. It's crazy. But at any rate, the history of KDP Select, people, you got to know exactly why we got to where we're getting, because there's some people who are probably brand new to this, aren't familiar with what the Kindle Unlimited system was. So Kelly, what was the system like originally for us?
Started in July of 2014. All you had to do was flip 10% of the book, and you got paid a certain amount for it. When we got into it, it was like $1.35.
Yeah.
But if you did an 8-page book, 10% of 8 pages is like a page or less.
Just open the book up.
So you could essentially write a small book, flip a page or two, and you would get paid $1, whatever it was for the month for that. And then they're like, oh, that's a scam. And people who wrote long books didn't like that model. So
I can't say I blame them. People that worked really, really hard on some novels that are getting like half of it read and there's another 900 pages to go, they were getting screwed. Whereas some people were just putting out books that literally they could just open it up, $1.30 right there in their pocket.
Then a year later, December 20, current model started in July 2015.
Right.
And then, which was per page, because they wanted to make it even. Still isn't perfect, but by December 2015-ish, limited to 3,000 KENPC.
So it was a free-for-all, folks. There were people that were just piling book after book after book within a single book to try to get as many KENPCs. I mean, it was nuts. Until finally Amazon was like, oh, nope. Everybody out of the pool. This is ridiculous. 3,000's your limit. Good freaking Lord. Your book's 3,000 pages? What do you do with your life with that many pages? It's practically freaking insane. Like, I'm lucky if I break a few hundred KENPC on a specific book. But, that was what the model was at that time. And that was around December. But it started to, there was a little bit of an issue. Short books, yes. You don't get much at about a half a cent per page flip. Now it's 0.004, it says on the screen. Don't be fooled. It varies from one month to the next based on the global select fund. So obviously long books get way more. So if you've got 3,000 pages, you're going to get way more than say if you had 30 pages KENPC. And not all Kindle Unlimited members read the whole book. Listen, show of hands. How many people get a book and don't finish it? Show of hands. I know you put your hand up. Yeah. Everybody's guilty of this. Everybody. And Kindle Unlimited members are just as guilty of that. Just because they're getting it for free, as some people say, they're still paying for a monthly membership. They're going to read a little bit and they're going to try to come back to it later, and they may not get back to it, and they don't finish the book. So therein lies the big issue. So how do authors get readers to go through the book? Kelly, get that one.
Good content?
Yeah, good content, schmontent, right? Am I right? Oh, yeah. I'm being facetious here, folks. It just gets more interesting. So this is where you're going to understand. Make books longer by way of, quote unquote, I'm going to put the bunny ears, quote unquote, bonus content. And how exactly was that bonus content, Kelly?
Now, it's been a while since I've done Kindle, but back when I did a few years ago, you just put added content because, let's be real, a half a cent per page really isn't too much. So you want to give value and longer bonus content to the customers, but it did get out of hand.
And when it got out of hand, it was crazy. I think that you and I had met a couple people that were doing this, where this is where we say the translated book. This is we gave some foreshadowing before. We met one guy that literally took one single book and he would go through Google Translate and translate it into various languages and load it up. So it was one single book and various iterations of Google Translate. And this guy was making money hand and fist. I don't think he's around anymore. And
it was before the 3,000 pages. And what got me is he would put, I shouldn't even say he, but I would put a nonfiction book with some erotica in it.
Yeah, it was literally like Minecraft with werebear erotica. You know, that's insane. Where's your head at? And this is where it starts to become a whole free-for-all. But listen, not all good things last, folks. You know, before we get to that, here's what happens is people discovered that regardless of how they got there to the end of the book, KDP was noticing, oh, a person's at the end of the book, that means they read all the pages, okay? So literally, they didn't have to read a single page. If they got to the end of the book and it registered with Kindle Direct Publishing, you got the page flips, no matter how much, okay? So people figured out, oh, let's put a link at the very beginning that'll send them right to the end. So like a call to action of some sort of, hey, check it out, I've got something special for you. And they go down there and be like, hey, here it is. We gave you 20 free books of bonus content. It's our way of saying thank you. Here's a link. You can go right back to the beginning, continue reading. Deuces. And it worked. But admittedly, February 2016 came the big crunch. Literally, accounts were terminated. Some were suspended. And it became a real mess. And I'll tell you, you know, I've always been forward with you guys, and I've always just been very honest. I've said this in previous lives. I tried it out, and guess what happened? I got in trouble. I got in big trouble. But the thing is, I just did the links. I didn't do the book stuffing because I was like, I can't do that. I don't want to give away my stuff for free. So I ended up getting suspended.
I did it all, but I didn't get suspended.
Yeah, I got caught. And the thing is, as soon as it happened, you know what I did? Removed those stinking links and said, all right, no more. I was like, literally, there's no more shortcuts to the top. I'm going to do this one the hard way. So it was a very scary time. And there were people that were selling their businesses. They were selling hundreds of books. But here's the funny part. You remember some of this. Some of the books that were being sold at the time were dirty, of course, because they came from dirty accounts that were terminated. So they sold them to people that unwittingly bought the stuff. And then they would get suspended or into hot water because they had some of the stuff.
That.
Yeah, I do remember that. So, but in any event, so that is, you know, create the incentives to get the in. We kind of discussed that, you know. And so in any event, here's where it happens. We're fast forwarding to right about over the past month. It's happened, right?
Ish. I mean, it's really gotten, I think, past month, yeah.
Yeah. So Amazon changes the policy. Numerous big-time, in quotations, big-time indie romance authors drastically changed their titles to accommodate the change. So rather than just being a one short story with 50,000 books put in with it, They turned them into collections, but there were some that didn't quite make the cut, and Amazon was going through and boom, 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 and just like literally clipping one account after the other. And some of you can probably do a little bit of due diligence. If you take a look inside the description of today's show, I actually have a link to selfpublishingwithdale.com/bookstuffing. If you go to that link, it'll take you to The Verge. Verge covers this really in depth, and you're going to see that there's a correlation between the things that happened with Cockygate and Tiffanygate. All that to say this, that there was one point or another, a big romance author, Chance Carter, entire catalog gone, wiped out. And I understand that this specific author was trying to incentivize reviews and purchases through an offer to get diamonds from Tiffany's. Yes. I was like, that's nuts. I don't think I could ever sleep, well at night. Like, yeah, read my stuff. You can have some diamonds. No, I don't even give my wife diamonds outside of what, we have for our wedding ring. Although I don't think you'd wear it, even if I did get you it. So, but, that was what, really it started to become just, it was crazy, nuts. We've blazed through some of this stuff. And I promise you, we've probably skipped over a lot of, content, when it comes to this. But that gives you a good overview of what this whole book stuffing thing is and how dangerous it can be to the health of not only the Kindle Direct Publishing account that you have, but to your business. And here's something that I always say, and before I start to, field some of the questions, is it worth it? Are shortcuts worth it, to get your big payday? And I seen some clown on YouTube one time talking about he was completely cool with getting his stuff shut down because he would just open up another one underneath an LLC. Well, good luck on, shielding your IP address and wasting a lot of the consumer's time and money. But let me get off my soapbox because I want to hear from you. What do you think about Amazon's new rules against book stuffing? Do you think it's okay to offer books stuffed with bonus content? Are there other loopholes you heard about and maybe we didn't discuss? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And I want to make sure we switch it on over here. I see you eyeballing the chat. So what has chat got to say about this today? We're going to get to that as soon as... Today's live broadcast is brought to you in part by...
Find out the exact systems I use to build and grow a no-content book publishing business. Visit selfpublishingwithdale.com/no-content to get your copy of the no-content book publishing course. This offer is only available until August 15th, so get your copy right away.
Join us live next week on Thursday, July 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Low Content Book, How to Publish No-Content Books the Wrong Way. Get our insights on how and why you aren't getting results in publishing no-content books. So super exciting. I can't wait for next week to come along. I know this always just makes you smile. So yeah, make sure you guys take advantage of Kelly's course. It's going to be up for a limited time. She is pulling it off the market. I've tried to convince her otherwise, haven't I? Mm-hmm. I'm like, what are you doing? It's awesome. It's great. And she's like, nope. It's going to be up. This is not false scarcity, folks. Don't ever try to call her on something because...
Other people have said it to me too, and I just want to get ready for Q4, and I'm starting to do more live videos. I think I can help people in other ways besides the course. So yeah, the people that get it can just take advantage of Q4 happiness. So yeah,
absolutely. All right, so let's hear from inside the audience. Which, by the way, big round of applause to you guys. We're at a record 37 viewers. And we don't get this too often, so please make sure that you continue to share. We're going to go ahead and field any kind of questions, concerns, and I would like to hear other people's input. Trust me, if you disagree with me, it's all right. All right. We disagree quite often, and I don't. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm like, you're banned, you're out of here, get out of this house. Although I think I'd probably be the one out of the house, living in the gym downstairs in the basement.
Beauty Bubble came late. Good to see you.
Michael Fresh Beliefs in the house. I see him. He says only if it relates to the book and adds value to the book. Yes, I agree.
It's so tough when you're starting to be this entrepreneur. It sounds so awesome, yeah, but it's really hard work to build a brand, and so
it really is.
In order to pay your bills, sometimes you just got to do stuff like this. I know. Yeah. I mean, it's a borderline of providing value and paying your bills. So
yeah, it can be tough, and I won't ever skirt that and say, hey, look, it's been easy for either one of us. And I think that sometimes when people see these loopholes, they do it out of desperation at times because they just need to make sure they pay the bills. But I got to tell you, man, ooh, you may want to pick up a day job if it's getting, you know, desperate times.
Amazon don't play around.
Yeah, Amazon don't play around. Listen, folks, diversify also. That's another lesson to be learned, because there's been some people with a lot of the changes most recently that are getting burnt and they're not doing anything.
Yeah, I think I'm up to double digits in income streams, and you probably are too. So that's probably one way to combat it.
Yeah.
Risa Faye said some of the authors even mailed their mailing list telling them to borrow from KU just to flip to the end. That's crazy. Hot Flash Heidi, buyer beware. I worry about when outsourcing for designs that something's supposed to be original but isn't, and it's copyright, and they come after you.
It's a big concern, and that was I'm deathly terrified, because it actually happened to me where I had a series ghost written, and I discovered partway through the series that the gal was plagiarizing content, and thankfully I hadn't published any of the plagiarized stuff, and I was able to get my money back. But yeah, it's a scary thing. You never ever let your guard down. I'm gonna tell you, never. I trusted this person, and they disappointed me on this one.
And it seems like Hot Flash Heidi is coming from the merch world, because it says something's for designs.
Yeah.
I don't outsource for merch for that reason. I think I've bought less than 5 designs for merch, and they never sold, and I have the same feelings as you do. John Wasser bought a bunch of books from one of our good friends, Dave Cozio, edited them, he added his own content, and they still told him that he did not have exclusive publishing rights, and they blocked it.
Sorry to hear that there, John. That sucks. I did not realize that happened to you.
Well, he was just getting out of the business, so...
it's true. That's true.
Yeah, Keith said this is a marathon, not a sprint. Yes.
Yeah, if you can really think about this in the long term, please do so. I'll tell you, there are exceptions to the rule. There are the unicorns of the business that, like, as soon as they get into it, they take like a fish to water. I'm just going to throw you under the bus. Sorry, Kevin, you're already here. Kevin McGuire, fish to water. That guy just jumped right in, and his first short read out, he just started kicking butt and taking names. When you're taking John Grisham, you're passing John Grisham's publications, you're doing killer. There are exceptions to the rule, but I just got to say that it is rough, folks.
I mean, everyone pretty much is just saying that they're happy it happened. People are taking from the pool that shouldn't.
I'm just sorry that there are people that have been doing it legitimately that have been getting screwed this whole time, or the ones that are getting screwed now because obviously Amazon has a tight vetting system, and they're starting to pick up people's publications and deeming it as, well, for instance, there's some that are considered manipulated page reads, and it really sucks that some people are being listed as manipulated page reads when they're actually doing this legit.
Dave Kadoff has a great question.
Dave, I think we're going to cover that one next week for sure. That
prompted our topic for next week, but I will still answer it, but not go in depth.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Just a fair warning, so no one, really gets in trouble who's watching or watching on the replay. Createspace did send out emails either yesterday or today to some people that were uploading a lot. And when I say a lot, I think it was triple digits.
Yeah.
They marked some of their books to incomplete and asked them not to resubmit them for another 3 weeks.
Yep.
And they might have asked not to resubmit, I don't know, did they ask not to resubmit any titles, or was it just those titles? I forget now.
Yeah, it's something that, pretty much their accounts were throttled, but we're going to discuss that going into next week. I definitely want to make sure that we get that all buttoned down going into next week. So make sure you're tuning in this next Thursday for the No Content Books. We're going to talk about some strategies that are going to really help out some of you, and you're not just uploading 100 titles per day. That's far beyond ridiculous.
Or more.
Or more. Yeah, or more.
We'll talk more about that next week.
Right.
I could go on about this for a while. Let's see. John Wasser also bought Paranormal Romances and changed it to straight with dominant female. Oh, that probably took some work. But, oh shiz, Raw Dog says, Createspace email.
Question, do you think there's a way to avoid all this, especially the theft of titles? We are ISBN with Blurb before going to Amazon. Does this put us in a different pool of vetted authors? So I take it you must publish through Blurb. Unfortunately, I have no idea of what all happens on Blurb. Have you used them before?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't be of any assistance to you. You know, the system's getting a lot more tighter for checking copywritten stuff. Like, I've had some people freak out and they reach out to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I got a message from Amazon. They said I need to prove I have rights. I'm like, you have the rights, right? And they're like, well, yeah, of course I do. I wouldn't steal somebody's thing. I'm like, well, then just tell them you've got the rights. It's literally sometimes that simple. If they find any portion of your book appearing elsewhere on the internets and the interwebs, they'll flag your stuff. It can be a good thing. That can be a good thing. Fair warning that if you end up putting up a collection or compilation of some sort, they may also flag that and pull that, and you're going to prove you have rights because you're putting all that stuff in there. I think a good copyright page will combat something like that. So anytime I do a collection, so for instance, my Ultimate Home Workout Plan bundle, I make sure that I list each one of the titles, their publication date, as well as their original ISBNs that are inside there. Is title thievery even a thing? I mean, how many books have the title Heartbroken? You know, that's something that was really hot flash Heidi. That was, I'm just going to call you Heidi for right now. That was one of the big issues going on with cockygate because, you know, Felina Hopkins, as some of you are aware, trademarked the word cocky, and she's failing miserably right now at it. You know, can people own them? Yes and no. I would recommend you go back and watch the interview I had with Kevin Nooper here on this channel. You can even just search up Kevin. It says Knooper, Kneuper. If you look at inside there, Kevin Nooper, Dale L. Roberts, find it over on YouTube. Great interview. He can kind of explain what you can trademark and what you probably shouldn't trademark. And I'd rather than me going into the various lurings, I would rather just go ahead and forward it over there. Any other questions, concerns, comments?
I don't think you can even copyright a title, but the Copyright Office is going through a lot of changes right now. The
trademark, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. United States Patent and Trademark Office. Yeah, they're going through some real issues, and of course this, merch is just another one. Maybe we should peer on over on your channel and talk a little bit about merch and the dumpster fire that is trademarks over there.
Maybe in the future. Not at the moment.
Well,
if there's not any other questions, we're going to make some tacos.
We're going to make some, it's Victory Taco Night. Speaking of dumpster fires, there was a complete dumpster fire here just before we went on. I tried to get everything organized and it was like the wires were everywhere for the broadcast. Kelly, how can people reach you?
You can reach me at my YouTube channel, Kelly Publish with an I, or shoot me an email, hello@kellypublish.com. Instagram and Twitter, Kelly Publish. All right, folks. If you enjoyed today's video, hey, look, there's a lot of you in here. Hit that thumbs up, please. If you didn't like it, just hit the thumbs down. Either way, pick a thumb and stick to it. In the meantime, in between time, if you enjoyed it, share it with somebody else who'd enjoy it too. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale. And Kelly. And we'll see you next week.